Hello again, this is Dr. Chimera and these are my chaotic disasters, back with another from the Orb Retro Games. That's a little bit loud. So we're on day 2 with Tank War, which I suspect will probably rank quite highly in terms of name accuracy, because how can you go wrong? Unless it's like a fake war, like the war on Christmas or the war on drugs. Well, that does look a bit cannabisy down the bottom there, so it could be like the war on drugs. Okay. It mentions stage 1, which implies that there's more stages than one. So this might be one of the longer entries here. Whoa! Okay, little tiny bullet that travels 2 foot. Okay. So the 2 buttons, which are not labelled, there's no like A or B, which is quite strange really. The 2 buttons do the same thing. Oh, yep, it's an amphibious tank. It can just go over water, no problem. Ooh. Can I sneak past? Oh, no, I doubt it. But luckily that tank on the left just hasn't noticed me. Or it's just gone, I don't want any of that. Leave it, Daryl, he's not worth it. Okay. That a dollar sign? You know, I have to say, when I first saw this thing, I assumed it was going to be a big stack of NES ROMs or something like that. That's typically what little strange Chinese game console things are. But no, everything seems original thus far. I mean, well, original as in they've made it themselves, not original as in especially creative. But you never know. Maybe this will surprise me with some strange twist. I'm really not understanding what any of these power-ups do. There's a lot of moments where you just cannot get past without taking damage. Like, it's just, oh no, you just have to accept your fate. Okay. Oh, I can actually go diagonally. Well, that's news to me. Ooh. Just as I worked out what the power-ups do is when I lost it. Whew. You have to say, it's actually quite an intensive little game. You've really got to pay attention. If I was in the back seat of a car on my way to the Lake District to have the worst holiday of my life, I'd probably quite enjoy this. Keep me shut up. Okay, it seems that the key to this game is working out how far particular enemy bullets travel, and then just being further away than that when shoot. But everything does seem to take a lot of punishment. Oh, have I reached a boss? I have to say I wasn't actually expecting there to be bosses in a game like this. And the name has thus far proven accurate. So, while I'm just... Ooh, nice. I was going to say, whilst I was pumping damage into this health sponge, and then it immediately exploded. Stage 2, let's keep going. So, I was once part of the military industrial complex. Oh, that's an enemy, not a power-up. And let me tell you something. Tanks, completely redundant. Absolutely rubbish. Air superiority is the way to go. And I'm not just saying that because I was involved in building aircraft. There's a reason why those things just get stacked up in warehouses. Don't get me wrong, you know, they had their time. Some of these power-ups don't seem to really make any sense. Some will be evident immediately what they do. The one that gives me a super big blast, for example. But others are completely mysterious to me. Also can't help but notice that I'm the only mobile tank in this universe. Which seems to rather defeat the purpose of having a tank. I mean, you think they'd have the excuse to do a pallet swap. Here we are, the chunky shot. Oop. I have no idea what the money one does. I can only guess that it's extra points. But because they don't put your score on the screen whilst you're playing, only as you end it, never forget to look both ways before you cross the street. Sorry about that. So they don't put the score on the screen as you play, only when you finish, or presumably when you die. Okay, it seems to be the same boss again. I'm a little disappointed in that. I mean, I was impressed that there was one boss, but not so impressed that can be the only boss. Did I lose the big shot because I got hit, but not destroyed? That's, kind of lame. It's sort of Super Mario Fireflower logic, which doesn't really make sense if you lose health and lose the item, you know, like one or the other. I wonder what the guys in the boss tank are thinking. It's just like, wow, we're firing these shots that clearly are going massively over its head, and it's zipping all over the place, going at right angles. Wow. Wonder how many stages this thing actually has. Ooh. I mean, they're not fooling me. These have been sort of colour swaps of very similar sceneries thus far. So keep your eyes peeled. Oh, there it is. Like, why is there a cow skull here in the Arctic tundra? We'll never know. But the one I was going to bring up... Oh, I'll kill this little man. Nope. Man, he had a real bad day. He thought he had a chance there. And what I was going to point out was this, is to keep your eyes out for the shrubbery here. I was expecting them to not reuse that one because it doesn't make any sense for it to be here. And then within seconds I spotted it. It's just, you know, the jungle and the Arctic are the same thing, really. Am I the real question is, am I the same tank operator in all of these campaigns? Have I been taken around the world to fight in the jungle, the desert, and now the Arctic. Yeah, I guess it could be like Siberia or something. But I've had this one tank and this one guy just fighting an entire war by himself in a tank. Though I did say this would score quite highly in terms of name accuracy. Ooh. Tricky buggers. But no, this game actually has got my attention, at least. Ooh, ooh. So that as my attention lapses, I just immediately get wrecked by a little fella. They do seem to be able to shoot immediately after their old shot is off the screen, which means that if you're up close, you're just being bashed rapid fire. They've got hit cancel. Oop, wait. Sucker. The decision to put like moon craters that these things are in is quite weird as well. You'd think you'd build something around your turret, not stick your turret in a hole. I also can't help but notice that the sprite of my tank is significantly less detailed and interesting than the enemy tanks. Whereas mine is the one that I have to look at all day. Ooh. Now, I expect this to be the last level, purely because I can't think of another easily palette-swapped terrain they could do. I mean, they may well be willing to repeat them, but it is quite hard to imagine that they put that much effort into one of 153 games. Small correction from my previous one. All of the... Oh, blimey. Shooting Hadokens. Oh, I run on the same logic of once my shot's off the screen, I can fire again. Yeah, back to stage one. And if that kicks me straight out, it doesn't let me keep going. Does it keep my score? No. So I guess if you want to know what your high score is, you've got to write it down. Well, I guess that's it for Tank War, which I have to say in terms of gameplay, I'm going to say a 7 out of 10. So I was quite intent there sometimes, I really wanted to go for that. In terms of entertainment, well, let's say a 3 out of 10. There was nothing weird about it, which I can tell you from some of the random ones I picked, there are some really weird games here. I suspect that probably the first screen are going to be the most straightforward. So if you picked it up and started running through some of them, you would just go, oh, well, this seems to make sense. And then you get to page 2, and then that's when the LSD kicks in. In terms of name accuracy, 10 out of 10. It is a tank. It is a war. There is no misinterpreting that. They got that one dead on. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, swipe left, sub, comment, scribe, anything you can think of. And I'll see you tomorrow for Saycross.